Hello everyone, I hope you're doing well as always. So today we're continuing on a similar video to the last one where we talked about the characters that would be the most fun to hang out with in real life from Mortal Kombat. Today we're doing almost the opposite and discussing how big of a nuisance or a danger they would be to regular society. So this video is going to be a lot easier to make because we know that the characters from Mortal Kombat are pretty much split into good or evil or somewhere in between. So there's a little less speculation here and just discussing more so what the characters would be like once we put them into a real setting, not a Mortal Kombat tournament or a Mortal Kombat like world. So yeah, that's about it everyone. I think we'll quickly get into some of the rules. There's going to be about 5 tiers in this video based on how big of a nuisance they are. Of course, make sure to follow me on Instagram and TikTok. I post a decent amount on there, a lot more on TikTok because that's more of the content that I post over here. Let's get into the video. So first off, we have a huge nuisance or danger to society, T-1000. He is literally just designed to kill all humans, wipe us all out. So if he's just hanging out in your town, you should probably relocate, probably just get the hell out of there. Next up, we have Homelander. This guy, I've never seen the show, but based on what I've seen from him, he's bad news. I mean, his fatalities is literally killing people in a plane for like no reason. And of course, he's basically Superman, but evil. So once again, absolutely, I would relocate if he was near you. Even in the same country, I'm getting out of there. Then we have Quan Chisel. He absolutely just, again, in MK1, I don't know if he can make people revenants anymore, but he wants to kill people and put them under his command. So that's a pretty big nuisance, I would argue, killing everyone. And then basically making them your slaves is definitely something that I don't think would be seen as good or civil. Then we have Shang Tsung. This guy isn't as evil as Quan Chi in my opinion, but he still is a sorcerer and he still wants to get better at his craft, and I think he would do anything to do that, including killing you for basically no reason aside from furthering his research. So once again, same with all the other characters so far, that's not good. Next up, we have the large nuisance tier. We have Ghostface. So this guy, initially I was going to have him in the top tier because obviously he doesn't really care who he kills whoever. However, I'm guessing potentially he'd be easier to stop because he's just a regular guy at the end of the day. All the other guys so far have powers. He's just a normal dude. Then now we have Noob Saibot. This guy I think is really dependent. Like, he could be a massive nuisance, or if he just focuses on like Lin Kuei stuff and he doesn't bother converting people into cyborgs or making them like him, you could be fine. But if he does want to do those things, it's over. Then we have Ermac. If it's Jared, I think you're fine. He's not evil, but if it's the version we have in gameplay that has taken control over Ermac or the other souls, we are done for because he's under Quan Chi, so he's just going to be like Quan Chi, but arguably more powerful. Then next up, we have Homelander. Not Homelander, already said that, Omni-Man. Omni-Man is going to be, again, I've never seen the show, but from what I've seen, he's kind of evil, but also kind of not. Again, please correct me, never seen the show, so I had to just put him in this placement. Then we have Natara. She wants all humans to die. She basically wants our blood. So once again, that's pretty bad. The reason I didn't have her in the top tier though is that in MK1 she seems pretty weak. Like, I feel like if a bunch of people band together, you could probably defeat her, so it wouldn't be too big of a threat. And we also, finally for this tier, have Havoc. So if it's Chaos Reigns Havoc, we're done for. If it's regular Havoc, I think we're probably fine because he isn't as chaotic, funnily enough, but still pretty big nuisance. Then we have the moderate nuisance, we have Sector. If she wants to convert all of us into cyborgs, we're done for. But if she wants to turn everyone into a Lin Kuei member and then turn them into that, it's over. But if she doesn't care that much and she just sticks to already Lin Kuei members, we're fine. Then we have Peacemaker. Once again, I've actually seen a little bit of his show, like an episode or two. He doesn't really seem like a villain, kind of though. So I would say if he ever turned bad, we're like fully bad, we're done for. But as of now, from what I've seen of the show, only a couple episodes, it'd be fine. Then we have Reiko. He just follows General Shao. So if General Shao just sticks to Outworld stuff, which he sort of seems to in MK1, I think we're fine. But if he turns his sights to Earthrealm, where all of us are, it's over. Then we have General Shao himself, and I think once again exactly what I just said for Reiko. If he wants to come for Earthrealm, then I'd say normally Shao Kahn, it's over, but General Shao is weaker. So I would say we're actually okay. It isn't completely over, but it would be definitely a good amount of danger, which is why I put him in moderate. Finally, we have Sub-Zero, basically for the same reasons as Noob, except he's a little less crazy. Similar to Sector, if he wants to turn everyone into a Lin Kuei member and like kidnaps them as children and stuff, we're done for. But if he doesn't, and he just sticks to people who are already Lin Kuei and just sticks to gaining power, it might be bad, but I don't think it'd be terrible. So now we have the small nuisances tier. Conan's a barbarian. I don't think he'd really fit in with society, at least modern society, and I don't really know how he'd function, so he might just lose his cool and just turn against everyone. I highly doubt it though, which is why I put him in the small tier. Now we have Ashra. This one might be confusing to some of you because she is kind of a good guy, really. The reason I put her here is because if she potentially loses control and sort of turns more demon-ish, again, I don't actually know if that's possible in MK1, but if it is, then we're screwed, but that's really unlikely, which is why I put it in the small nuisance tier. Then we have Reptile. Similar to Ashra, if he turns into his fully reptilian form, does that like affect his mind in any way? It doesn't seem to, but I'm just curious, like if anything were to happen to Reptile and he turned fully reptilian, then I would say it's probably not going to end well for us. Then we have Rain. Rain is a character that I'm really confused on in terms of his story, whether at the end of the game, whether he's more of a good guy now or anti-hero or still a villain, I don't know. But I think we can see he can do quite a bit of damage. So if he decides to use his powers for evil, it once again would be pretty bad. Then we have Melina. Melina is very like political and very like focused on her realm, so we'd be fine. But if she brought her Tarkat disease to Earthrealm and infected us, if that's even possible, then obviously that's not going to be good, and that would definitely be a huge danger to ending society. Then we have not a nuisance at all. Cyrex is pretty chill. She wouldn't be a nuisance at all. She joined the Shirai Ryu at the end of Chaos Reigns, and the Shirai Ryu are a lot more heroic in this timeline, so it would be fine. Then we have Takeda. Takeda is basically just a normal guy, and we've seen in the game, in MKX N1, he isn't a villain. He would probably try to protect us as best as he can. Same for every character really that I'm about to mention pretty much. So Takeda would be literally no danger, and if he turned evil, well, same for every character here, it would be bad, but it would be okay. Sindel, if she turned evil, again, we're done for, but if she stays how she is, I know of course she died at MK1, sorry for the spoilers, but it's an old game, we'd be fine. Then we have Geras. He's basically designed almost to protect Earthrealm in a sense, so we'd be fine. Him and Liu Kang would be like the two you would want to protect us the most because they have the most information and power. Then we have Tanya. I don't think she'd even want to come to Earthrealm. She gives off the vibe she'd kind of just find us stinky and just like really unpleasant to be around. I don't think she'd even want to go to Earthrealm. Then we have Li Mei. Li Mei's, I think I just had a voice crack, that's diabolical. Li Mei literally just outworld police, so she would just come here and do police work. Then we have Smoke. He's probably the most like wholesome character in the roster. I don't know why, but he's literally protecting us. He wouldn't do anything. Then we have Raiden. Old timeline and this timeline, he's always a good guy. He won't harm us in any way. He's always the goodest guy, really. Then we have Kung Lao, almost the same reasons as Raiden. He's a Shaolin, he'll protect us. Already really does in the game, so yeah, he would just continue to do that. Then, next up we have Kenshi. In this game, he's a bit more kind of like a criminal, but he is a good guy, and he would definitely set out to protect us if something bad happened. I think he wouldn't be a nuisance at all. Then we have Johnny Cage. He is, once again, he's just a rich guy, so he wouldn't do all that much. Sure, he has a lot of money, so he could probably mess us up if he wanted to, but at the same time, he's a good guy, so I don't think he'd be a nuisance to society at all. Then we have Katana. She is a lot more understanding than most Edenian or Outworld characters, I guess, in MK1. If she came to Earthrealm, she would definitely defend us and probably try to fit in with us a little bit, I could imagine. So she wouldn't be a nuisance to us in the slightest. Then we have Scorpion, same reasons as Smoke. He is from the Shirai Ryu. He's a lot more kind and understanding, so yeah, we'd be fine. He would protect us, I would imagine. And then finally, Liu Kang, literally the protector of Earthrealm, so he wouldn't do anything to harm us. If he did, it's a GG, it's over, we're all dead. We've seen what he can do in his fatalities and in cutscenes, but if he stays good, we're pretty much safe. And that is it, everyone. What every character would be like in a normal society. How big of a danger or nuisance would they be? So, let me know what you guys thought of the video. Did you think that I got a lot of these correct or a lot of them potentially wrong in your opinion? This is what it looks like on a tier list for any of you who were wondering. I'm aware that out of context, these tiers look really sus, which is why I didn't want to show them throughout the video and instead opted to just do it at the very, very end. But that is it, everyone. Before I go, I just want to say thank you for watching. Consider liking and subscribing. I would really, really appreciate it. And also, make sure to check out the playlist that'll be on your screen right now of my Mortal Kombat videos. I have about 75, I believe, in there. So there's a good amount of content there. I'm sure you will be able to find something that you will absolutely enjoy. Thank you guys, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video.